I was trying to get the fade in thing to work. Doesn't work.
It
Still
did.
doesn't. No, you just saw my palm. That wasn't. Yeah.
It was
Nick,
okay.
Nick's got it. Should all do what Nick was doing.
Is
The
this thing
fishbowl.
on?
Welcome back to our D&D game, and we're picking up in the desert today and in Purgatory today with the two lizard bros, the fuck bros, hanging out in the desert, who are just coming down off of the emotional non-highs they experienced from a half TKP.
To
TPK?
your knowledge.
TPK.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you guys process emotions differently, but maybe you're gonna go back and eat them. Who knows?
I heard they eat their emotions.
Yeah, they could very well be eating their emotions.
Can we not talk about food? I'm really hungry.
This is a bad time to show you all the granola bars I got hidden away behind here.
Jay is rejoining us this week as a whole new character who will be introduced as we go, so I'm not saying anything else about that. And Jor will be experiencing death after
Out-of-body.
death and a little bit of an out-of-body experience. But we will pick up with the fuck bros in the desert at the end of your rainstorm.
We did long rest, right? Or I did
Did.
achieve
You
one?
did.
Okay.
You were taking turns back and forth. Aku
That's what I
woke
thought.
up to shoot an arrow at a thing that was approaching you in the night, and you heard a weird pig noise and it ran away. And then you managed to still both get a long rest. But then you woke up and it was still raining, and you were like, "Oh fuck," or "Oh."
I actually took a long rest when we were in unknown.
Yeah,
game.
and I guarded for him, and then he guarded for me.
Correct. So you will be starting today as the rain is slowing and the sky is brightening back into its wonderful, dull, gloomy red color, and it has sufficiently let up and raining. So we can just start off with a perception roll. Not bad. Vith, you got sleep in your eyes. You don't see this, but Aku, you look towards that spot from last night where you shot the thing, and you see some tracks and some blood, and the tracks disappear off to your right behind a sand dune. The rain has been fully absorbed into the sand. It almost is no evidence that it was even raining at all, other than the scent on the air that's carried from the moisture.
How hot is it?
It's starting to warm up, like kind of an immediate sense. Not a lot of respite. It's hard to tell though, because you're still under the tree.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go take a closer look at that indentation in the sand.
I
Okay.
will follow.
As you approach it, you see that they are hoof marks. They're from the pattern, it would appear that it's a four-legged creature of some kind. Other than that, at first look, you don't get much more out of that.
How close are the hoof marks, like the front pair and the back pair? How close are they together?
You would estimate that. Well, actually, give me a nature roll to determine that.
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
Nailed
This-
it.
This creature is pretty big, actually, by all conventional standards. It's about 7 or 8 feet long, 3 feet wide. It's quite stockily built, and you can tell by the impressions in the sand from the hoofs that it's quite heavy as well.
All right. Cool.
You said there was a trail of blood.
It's red, but it's hard to tell against the sand.
I'm gonna try to follow it. See where it leads me.
You can do that. The indentations in the sand haven't been washed away fully by the rain, so you can actually just kind of follow it.
Okay, I'm gonna follow it.
And Vith, you going with him?
Yeah.
You guys are going to round a corner and see a bunch of different strange things all at the same time. There is a geyser sitting there, like a steam vent. It's kind of letting off a little bit of a cloud, and it's also running moisture down its sides. Laying against it is a dead pig monster thing with an arrow sticking out of it. It's quite large. It is the dimensions that I had stated before. It's hairy, but it's got a pig's face shape, the body approximating a hippo, spider eyes running from its nose all the way up to its ears, which are just tiny little pointy ears. It's dead, leaning against the geyser, and you smelled it before you saw it because the geyser is incredibly hot and is letting off a lot of steam, and the creature that fell against it is now cooking. To your further right, you see that the moisture that has run off of the geyser has created a little pond, and next to the pond are a bunch more of the pig things drinking out of it. Sheathing sword. You're hiding underneath the bellies of one of the pig monsters. Just kind of clutched underneath it.
Okay.
Do they know that we're there?
They, one of them turned and registered your presence, but is otherwise undisturbed by you. It didn't make any indicating noises or react to you in any way. I'd say you're about 25 foot off from the geyser and 40 feet away from the pigs that are drinking.
Okay.
How many pigs are there again?
6,
Okay.
not including the dead one.
I'm gonna try to walk up to that pond.
You can just approach it. The pigs that are drinking out of it don't actually register your presence.
Can I tell if the water's clean?
Give me a nature roll. You're using your deductive reasoning to think, well, it's been boiled, but creatures are drinking out of it. So if these things are contaminated, the water might be too. If you were you think to yourself that if you were desperate, you would drink this.
Gotcha.
In the same way that you would drink out of your own pet's water dish.
I mean, honestly, I would, but that's here nor there.
Please remain in character.
Your poor dog.
Hey, she's clean. I think so. And you said there was a little stream coming from the geyser.
Yeah, and that's what's feeding the pond.
Gotcha. I'm gonna take out my water skin and try to fill up that from that little stream before it gets into the pond.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Very smart. That will require you to actually wade out into the pond.
That's fine.
Okay. You do that. The water's cool against your ankles. And your brother joins you, and you stand side by side.
I'm gonna stay a little bit closer to the land, I guess, and kind of like support him so he can do them.
Okay.
So we don't both need to be flopping around.
That's fair. You're hanging on to him, who's just chilling in the pond, filling up the water skins right now. I'll just say that you can do that, and you replenish your water supply.
I'm gonna hand him mine and have him fill up mine as well.
Okay. However, the water is quite hot. Just as a note.
Okay.
Yeah, you replenish your water skins.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of the pond now.
Okay. No, I won't make you roll anything. You're okay. You exit the pond.
Okay. The pigs aren't doing anything? They're not reacting at all?
Not in any way.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom check.
Both of us?
Either one of you, or both.
Where is it at?
Okay. You noticed that the rain was eating through the tree a little bit, but these monsters were kind of just walking out in it, no problem.
I'm gonna go inspect the dead one.
It looks like from the puncture wound, you hit something vital and it bled out. This creature didn't die from the rain. It died from the your shot. It just took a while. And it's half cooked right now, actually being leaned up against that vent. Otherwise, the skin actually looks quite thick and hardy, kind of blubbery, and appears to be undamaged from the rain.
I'm gonna kneel down and pull out my leatherworking tools and try to kind of skin, I guess, the back of the hide.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Cool.
You can give me a dex save with. Do you have proficiency with your tools?
Yes. Yeah, with leatherworking tools.
Okay,
I can
so
just click
you're.
those.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah.
Oh, frick, you nail it. Not only do you get the hide off the back, but you get the hide off the side. Like you've got a friggin' tarp.
Cool. Is it big enough for both of us or just one?
It's big enough for one of you. You're quite
Okay.
large guys. Yes, sheathing sword.
While they're busy doing that, can I detach and kind of slowly stalk up behind them?
You are you doing so stealthily?
I am. I should roll for that, huh?
Yeah, you should. Oh yeah. They're too busy doing their own thing right now. You just kind of roll off of one of them and scoot along.
Okay. So I'll scoot up behind him and then lay down. I'm kind of carrying a staff with a bunch of stuff bundled to the other end of it and carrying it kind of like a hobo. And I'll just kind of take that off and kind of spread it out and kind of lay everything out in front of them and then take like 5 or 6 steps back and just wait.
Did I hear anything?
Give me perception. You're working with the leather tools right now, so pulling hide off is kind of noisy. You wouldn't hear it. However, Aku was doing his own thing. He filled the water skins, but then was just kind of looking at the monster. Aku, what do you see?
Apparently nothing.
Nah, you're stoked that your brother's got the hide off like perfect, and you see all this good-looking meat on a creature here.
Noticing that they don't turn around, that they're too engrossed, I'm going to squawk.
You guys hear a bird.
What was that? I'm gonna turn around.
You turned around. There's a
I'm
bird
turning around
man.
too.
He's approximately 5 foot. Winged, but not extensively so. And do either one of you guys? You've been around the world. You've been traveling a little bit, right?
I'm an outlander.
You can give me a nature roll, and you'd be able to identify what he is. You haven't seen him before. Nope. This is a bird person. It's the largest
Oh,
bird
yeah.
you've ever seen.
I'm gonna take out my bow and arrow.
You do that.
I hold up my wings.
The Birdman has made a pleading gesture.
Speaks.
You hear a familiar voice, the words being, "I'm a knight."
Does it sound like, I guess probably insight check. I want to sound like if it's him trying to imitate
Please
Sure.
give me a wisdom save.
wisdom. Okay.
That's Jor.
Jars?
I'm gonna look at my brother.
I'm a knight.
I'm gonna kind of wipe my eyes a little bit.
It's not Jor's face, but it's Jor's voice.
I'm like, you have a beak, right?
Yeah, he's got a beak.
I want to try to like open the beak. Jars?
I let him.
Okay, you're manhandling the the Kenku. He Aku, how are you reacting to this?
I'm a little baffled at it because I've never seen such a big bird before. So
It has also
I'm gonna-
spread a myriad of items across the ground. Sheathing sword, can you take us through what you've laid out?
Yeah, sure. So laid down in front of you guys is 2 pelts, very well-made leather armor that you would recognize as having formerly had been on your friend, Joradam, as well as a staff, otherwise known as a jousting weapon, assortment of jewelry, some fine boots, a huge sack with something in it. You don't know until you open it. There is a black cloak a book, a small, I believe it's spherical metal orb, and a piece of paper, as well as a sword, a shield, and 8 potions, assorted sizes and colors.
Would I recognize any of these items?
Immediately, yeah.
What kind of shield is that? Can I inspect it? I've seen it, but I don't really like. I want to actually look at it. You know.
You can give it an appraising look. I mean, you're standing right there. You're standing right there. I won't even make you roll perception for it. It's broad daylight, and you're looking right at it. However, you might be experiencing PTSD, so I will make you roll history.
Perfect.
That's Turl's shield.
Do I recall what it might have ever done? Anything?
With a 15, you bought it in the marketplace directly before you left. You were specifically looking for items that were fire resistant, I believe.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
You believe. And Aku? Yeah.
I'm gonna fire an arrow at his feet.
Roll for that.
Where'd you get?
Go ahead and roll your attack. Oh yeah, you plant it right at his toes.
Hold on. Actually, yeah, never mind. I'll allow it.
Okay. You were just asked a question, Birdman. Well then.
I'm gonna.
If you want some time to think about this,
Yeah.
why don't we go visit on Jor? Jor, you're on the top of the mountain. You are looking face to face with your smiling skeletal self, and it smiles at you, what you think is kind of a smile, and then it reaches up with its bony hands to caress your face, and in doing so grabs your lower jaw and grabs your upper jaw and splits them apart and crawls down your throat and into your body. You black out. You're going to wake up prone. You feel like you're prone. You can't see anything. How can I describe this? You're blind and prone and fumbling on all fours. It's dark, but it's also silent. You can't hear anything. All you have is a very vague sense of touch, and you feel objects pelting you on the back, kind of gently, like they're just being dropped.
Alright. I'm gonna try to stand up.
You can do that. It's a little bit disorientating since you can't see.
Okay.
Whatever the objects are, if you move to catch your balance and stepped on a few of them, they're squishy, and they're kind of round.
I'm gonna try to like bend over and try to pick one up if I can.
Okay. They're running out of your fingers. They're kind of squishy and slimy, so you try to grab them, and they're wiggling away on you. Give me a sleight of hand check. They're swishing out of your fingers as you try to grab them. So you're skittering around on the ground, chasing after them. They're still falling on your back, however, and they're around your hands. You're squishing them and wrecking some of them. Give me another one. Okay, this time you managed to grab one inside of your hand and hold on to it. It's slimy and it's got a tail on it.
What does it smell like?
Wet. Oh wait, no, you can't smell it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I can't smell.
No,
I'm gonna lick it.
you can't lick it either. You don't
Oh.
have a tongue. You realize you don't have a tongue. If you
Oh,
reach
worse
up and
then.
touch your own face, you realize you don't even have skin.
Alright. I guess.
If you'd like to roll perception, I can give you some more.
Alright.
Okay. You roll it between your hands, and you feel that it's a round object with a bit of a tail attached to it. The top part is squishy, and the tail part is a little bit harder.
Alright, I will try to stand up and start walking in a direction.
Are you still holding onto the thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a 1d4 roll for your direction. Okay, you make it 6 paces and you hit something. It's taller than you. And you half bounced off of it, but it felt like a wall of flesh.
I'm gonna try to poke it.
You do that. It's warm. It moves a little bit under your skin. It's got a texture to it that's familiar to skin, but it's a bit abrasive, like there's hair attached to it.
Alright, I'm gonna try to like feel my way around it if I can.
Okay, it's round. Like it's a big cylinder.
Can I try to push it over?
It's sturdy. It's not gonna budge. But as you go to push it, the surface of it kind of slides underneath your hand, like it's not 100% attached to what's underneath it.
Alright,
Can I get also a dex save from you? Okay, you're fine. You stepped on a pile of the round things, and it's kind of slid out. Your foot slid out from underneath you a bit.
does it seem like the round things are moving towards the big round thing?
They don't appear to be moving on their own volition right now. They were falling and bouncing off of you, or falling and rolling due to the terrain, but they're not actually moving on their own free will.
Okay. I'm gonna try to climb on the big round object.
Okay. Hop up. Give me an athletics check. Cool. You bounce right off. Because you only have a sense of touch, you just kind of grabbed it, and then it moved, and you slid down. So you're in a sitting position now with your legs splayed around it.
I'm gonna try to cast Sacred Flame on it.
Okay. You can do that. You feel a horrible agony. Like you're partway on fire.
Alright. Probably won't do that again.
I won't make you take damage, but this will affect you. I should mention it's still raining round things on you.
Alright, I'm gonna try to walk around the object and keep going.
Okay. You're slipping and sliding. Give me another dex save. You fall onto all fours. Your fingers are full of them, of the little round things. Do you want another perception check?
Yeah. Fuck.
Weird little round things.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you're crawling and crawling forward. We'll cut back to the other guys in the confrontation for now. Hey, other guys. There's a bird person. Sheathing sword. Aku just shot an arrow at your foot. Sheathing sword or Aku? Go.
I'll just kind of kick the arrow a little bit.
I'm gonna pull out my axe and not like go to attack, but slowly like hold it up as if to hold him back, I guess.
Okay. You're keeping your distance and you're minding your space. And
Yeah,
you're using a weapon to do it.
showing him I mean business.
I'm gonna walk up to the side where Vith is.
Okay.
Point my bow and arrow drawn right at its head.
Okay.
And ask again, where's Gits?
You hear another familiar voice as he says, my name is Taral Uza. I am human. This is how you say messed up.
Taral, is that you? Thanks, Vith, again, with the horrible insight checks.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I'm confused, but I know what my eyes see, so I'm not gonna burst out anymore.
Do you want me to roll
Okay.
against that 11?
You're selling it.
Ooh.
Yeah, you've got Vith confused, but Aku's not having it. Aku's still staring you down with a bow and arrow.
Pointed at his head.
Who's better speaks.
The pigs seem undisturbed by this turn of events.
Do you speak commons?
I'm gonna try to speak in Undercommon to him
Okay.
and just say, "Use betters, answer me."
You want to roll intimidation or
Yeah.
persuasion?
Intimidation, because I'm getting mad because of all this trickery.
Sheathing sword, it would appear you've lost the heart of the large one. He's yelling at you.
He kind of looks at you, head kind of turned to the side, like he's confused. Half-hearted squawk, like, "Ah!" And then, use betters, answers me's.
Bad's choice.
In Undercommon.
Vith, what you heard was your own voice thrown back at you. Elsewise, he hasn't made any threats to you. He's just mimicking so far.
hmm I'm just gonna walk up right up to him and put my head basically like down on his head.
Okay. In what kind of like
Like I'm using him as a table.
interesting? You use him as a table. Haku, what do you think of that?
I find it hilarious.
Sheathing sword.
He steps out of the way a little bit, bends down and grabs the parchment that he laid down on the cloak, and picks up a quill and scribbles on it. I cannot speak, only mimic. And then holds it out
And-
towards you and squawks.
As he holds it out towards you, you read some. Well, give me perception really quick.
Me?
Either one of you.
Okay.
Okay. Vith, you don't see it because you're too busy doing your thing. But Aku, you see the words "I cannot speak, only mimic" on the page before the words melt into the page and disappear. The words "Are you losing your minds?" appear on the page.
I'm
Get
gonna try
back
to
to work.
snatch it out of his hand because I realize what it is.
I don't resist. I hold it out.
Okay, you can just do that then. You grab the magic paper bag.
What's that about?
Magic notebooks.
What did he write down?
He can only mimics. Can't speaks.
I'm gonna look over at him. Trues?
You can roll insight on that if you'd like.
Break the streak, right? Nope.
Nope, you buy it,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
but so does Aku.
Alright.
He would, your deductive reasoning puts this at, if his life was in direct danger, he would have probably cracked by now, unless he's insane. And you don't wager that he's insane because he has done a lot of logical things.
Did I take the quill from him as well?
If you were snapping things out of his hand, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna open that up right down in there that we lost Jordam and Terrell.
He just writes back, "I'm so sorry. Please don't be disheartened. We need this now more than ever."
I'm gonna put that back in my bag.
Add it to your inventory.
I'm gonna reach down and pick up the shield I was looking at earlier.
Okay. Jay, did you have any of these things equipped? Or
Nope.
sorry, sheathing sword? No.
Just carrying them.
Yeah, you add a +3 shield of fire resistance. Or it's not a +3 shield, it's a +1 shield, which means it's 3+ total.
Okay.
Because the shield's normally +2.
I'm gonna ask the bird. Do you know a way out of here's up, down, or side to side for no?
Ah!
I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. You walk past the flayed pig thing, and you start heading back down the trail that you were taking, or that you
What's
took to get
the-
here.
What's the light situation like?
Ambient redness.
Would you consider it dim?
No, not quite.
Damn.
It's just gloomy.
Um,
I'm gonna pick
going...
up that hide.
Okay. You do that, and you roll it up. You got like 15 pounds of hide.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast a spell.
You can do that.
I'm gonna cast Darkness. The center being Aku.
Okay. Does he have to save against that, or is he just enveloped?
He's just enveloped in darkness. Cannot
Aku,
see even
you
with
are
dark vision.
suddenly enveloped in a cloud of utter darkness. It is
I'm gonna-
immediate.
I'm gonna take out a torch and light it.
It does not abate the darkness. You feel like this is some kind of black magic fuckery.
Stops this! I'm gonna hold my axe up at his throat.
I point at the cloud of black and squawk. Ah! Beckoningly.
Are you drawing it towards you?
No, I'm trying to relay my intentions. I'm pointing towards the black darkness,
Wise.
beckoning it closer and squawking at Vith.
Wise.
Simply point at the collection of items on the cloak and furs.
Actually, all three of you can give me a perception.
I can't see anything.
No, that's okay. It's not about that. It doesn't matter that you can't see anything because you hear it. It's a thunderclap. The same type of thunderclap that precluded the raining that happened before. Sheathing Sword, you hear it too. Vith, you're 2 in the moment.
I'm just gonna.
What's this for?
I'm gonna point at all of Tural and Jorah's belongings, point at Vith, and say, "I'm a knight."
Do you want me to pick the stuffs up? I'm gonna start to pick up some of the stuff then.
Okay. If you want to, you can just grab the whole hobo sack and wrap it up together.
I just want to keep it. Yep, perfect.
If you're looking for a pole to use it for, I would recommend a lance.
Okay, sure.
So you've got Jor's lance and a hobo haversack over your shoulder, with whatever equipment that Sheathing Sword had listed out previously.
Minus the stuff that he took, which I already deleted from my inventory. So at any point, if you guys need it, just let me know and I'll tell you what you have got.
Yep.
Okay. Aku, you're still in darkness. And now you're kind of worried because you heard a thunderclap.
I'm gonna look into the darkness and kind of look questioningly.
I don't. Do I see that?
Sorry,
Oh.
at what's your new character? Sheathing Sword.
Oh.
But we don't know his name.
It's so hard to not speak. He looks at you confused for a second, and then as if one of those aha moments when you see the change in someone's eyes, squawks and then drops to darkness.
If you want to RP that stuff out, we are watching you on Skype, so you can kind of do the inflections if you want to try that. If it doesn't come across properly, then
I just don't know how much you guys are watching it. If anybody has multiple monitors or whatever, but yeah. Absolutely.
If you're talking, I'm watching.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I might get you to repeat stuff if it comes
Absolutely.
up. So did you say you dispelled the darkness?
Yes. It's gone.
Aku, you can see again.
Can I
What
see
happens?
where the storm's coming from?
You can. Oh, you didn't hear anything about the storm
Oh, okay.
because you were in the
sorry.
moment. But the other 2 heard stuff.
Do I see where the storm's coming from?
You give me a perception. Read the weather or nature, whatever your highest stat is.
Yeah, they're the same.
Oh yeah, you can see it. We don't. You don't have a compass here, so you're not 100% sure which direction, but you can see it towards coming from where the geyser was,
It was
but-
that way.
far off in that direction.
I'm gonna start booking it to the tree, I guess, that we were under before.
Okay, you begin fleeing away from the group.
And motion, come on.
I'm gonna stops. Let's kill another ones for the hide.
Sheathing Sword walks over to one of the pig-like things and then climbs up underneath it and holds onto it like he was before.
You can do that. You other guys would have. You other. Thank you. You guys anticipate that this is how Sheathing Sword rode the storm out last time.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get one of the animals by itself.
Okay.
Animal handling.
You approach one of the pigs. Roll animal handling. It's too invested in drinking. Every time you try to pull it in one direction, it just kind of pulls off and starts drinking again.
I'm just gonna go back over there and hop up underneath one of them.
Okay, you lay down underneath one of the pigs. And you're shimmying underneath it. You're considerably larger than Sheathing Sword. So you're squishing yourself underneath the pig.
I'm gonna try to hold on to it.
Yeah. You're getting underneath there.
I'm gonna go over to the carcass and sit down next to it because it was still pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's right there.
Cool. I'm gonna sit next to that and throw the hide over me and it, start having a snack.
Am I
Okay.
the only one that wants to see this whole interaction like animated?
Right?
A little bit, yeah.
I just want to see that whole thing just animated. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. We'll go with it starts to drizzle a little bit of rain, and we're gonna cut to Jor. Jor, you're crawling.
All right.
You're crawling. There's squishy things in between your fingers, bursting underneath your palms as you're crawling, and your hand slips and goes into some kind of water.
Okay.
Some kind of liquid, I should say.
I'm gonna try to see if I can feel how deep it is.
You push and push and push, but there's no resistance as far as you reach in. You're laying fully on the ground with your arm extended all the way in, and there's nothing.
All right. I'm gonna go back the other way then.
Okay. Are you trying to make it back exactly the way you went?
Pretty much.
Okay. You'll come back to the flesh cylinder.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna try to climb on it again.
Okay. Nice. Okay. You begin to climb it. Once you climb it, you're getting a strange familiarity because there's things jutting out of it, like the position of where branches would be, except instead of bark, it's slippy and falling off. So you're climbing up, and then you start getting purchase, and it gets a little bit easier. And then you touch something that feels like a slug.
I'm just gonna keep going up.
Okay. The thing that you touched crawls away from underneath your hand. Feels pretty, I don't know, quite large. You just keep climbing up?
Yeah.
Okay. You climb to the end of a branch, and you feel a piece of metal underneath your hands.
Try to pick it up.
Okay. You're manipulating it, but it appears to be attached to the branch of whatever you're climbing on. However, give me a perception roll. You feel the relative shape out of it. It's a bell.
I'm gonna hit it.
You hit the bell. A noise rushes into your body with such colossal force that you are thrown from the tree. You are stunned and nearly and disoriented from this. But after a moment, the swell dies a bit and you are able to hear again. And you hear what here sounds like a bit of a stream moving, with the light sound of squishy things falling from the sky around you. You can pair up with the impacts on you with the squishy sounds to figure out that it's whatever is raining from the sky, as well as a soft slithering sound coming from the tree above you. You now have a sense of hearing.
Okay. I'm going to walk the opposite direction from the stream, from the tree.
Okay. You walk unsteadily. Are you walking or are you crawling?
I'm gonna try to walk.
Okay. Give me a dex save. Okay.
Oh.
You almost slipped on the squishy things, but you made it okay. And then you put your foot into water.
Okay. I'm
It's
gonna try to follow the edge of the water and see if it makes a circle.
It's making a very slight curve all the way around in a circle. You find yourself back to where you were before. However, on your way around, you feel that there are 3 objects on the shoreline. They're all right next to each other. The textures are all different.
I'm gonna go feel the closest one.
Okay. It feels like a wooden bowl.
Can I pick it up?
Yep.
I'm gonna try to fill it up with the water.
You can do that.
I'm gonna pour the water on myself.
Yeah, you totally do. Oh man. Okay. You are pulled into the waters head first. You are pulled and rent and twisted and feel like you were thrown up onto an embankment.
Okay.
Around you, you hear howling winds and desert sounds. You feel sand under your fingers. Behind you, you hear churning water. And give me a perception roll. Yeah, you hear a storm coming.
Oh fuck.
You can still hear the river from behind you.
Shit. I'm gonna jump back in the river.
You do that. You feel the transition, and you get pulled and rent and banged along with. If you feel around, it feels like there's other bodies in here with you, incomplete bodies, and then you resurface, scrabble around a little bit, and find yourself back on the shore where the bowl was.
Okay. So I'm by where the bowl was.
Mhm.
I'm gonna feel the next object.
The next object is feels like another bowl, except this one's got a metal thing in it that feels like a spoon.
I'm gonna feel the third object.
Feels like another bowl, but this one's made out of a material that's slippery underneath your hands, but it rings when you touch it.
I'm gonna put the spoon from the second bowl in the third bowl.
Okay, you do that. It makes a ting sound.
Yeah.
Like glass.
I'm gonna put water in that one.
You do that.
And do I have a mouth? You said I didn't have skin. Or
You don't have skin, but you've got a mouth hole.
I'm gonna use the spoon and try to drink some water.
It just runs through you.
Sounds like a bad night at Taco Bell.
Runs straight through you.
I'm gonna try to put some of the little round things in the bowl.
Okay, you do that. Just reach down and scoop a bunch into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat them with the spoon.
Okay. You put one in your mouth and it pops as you chew it, and then you chew it and swallow it to a stomach that's not there. It just kind of falls through your rib cage. Yeah, it makes a popping as you bite down onto it, and it tastes like, or it feels like a gelatin with a cord on the end of it.
All right. I'm gonna. Can I pick up all three bowls? Stack them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can stack
Alright.
them.
I'm gonna take them back to the tree.
Okay. You walk back to
And-
the tree.
And try to climb the tree again.
Okay. Yeah, give me an athletics. Yeah, you slide down the looseness of it, just kind of fall. Your fingers scrape on it, and you feel like you're scratching it.
Let's try to climb again.
Okay. Climb. Nope.
No.
Not this time. And you're still being rained on. We'll cut back to the other guys. We've got 2 guys underneath animals and 1 guy underneath tarp. It has just begun to rain.
With my carcass.
Yep.
So I'm nibbling on it and I'm pulling off bones, making little javelin points.
Ah, cool. Okay. So you've got the blanket over you enough, but because you're sitting down, you don't need to have your legs covered. Gives you a little bit extra of a canopy, and you're just sitting there working a little bit. Just not Tyrell, sorry. Sheathing sword. You fit very comfortably underneath the belly of this animal. Aku, you're quite big, so you're tucked like all the way in, and you're trying very hard to not have anything exposed from the water that's running down the sides. And as it moves, you're just kind of going with it. Can you roll to hold on to this thing?
What you want?
What are you going to use? It's brute strength.
I'm gonna try to be nimble about it.
Okay. Use your dexterity.
Check or
Feel
save.
Feel like you're gonna need some more granola in your life. You want me to get you another granola bar?
Save.
Hey, you
Okay,
didn't need the
you
granola.
shuff-
You got this.
You're shuffling along underneath the monster as you go. It's actually making its way towards your brother. So you can see that if you look all the way up backwards, that you're going towards the hump of your brother, and the kind of purplish skin.
Interesting.
Sheathing sword, are you just hanging out there?
Just gonna hang out.
Nice pun.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's gonna rain on you guys for a while. We'll go back to Jor. Give me another athletics check.
Alright. Fuck.
It's not having it. But you've banged and stretched this thing enough that whatever was climbing around in the tree has fallen out of the tree.
Can I tell, like, kind of where it is? Can I hear it or anything?
You feel like it fell next to you, or it fell next to you. You can hear it. It's making a slithering.
I'm gonna put the bowls down. See if anything happens.
You put the bowls down. It'll crawl into one of the bowls.
Which bowl?
The wooden one. Oh wait, no. No. Sorry, it'll climb into the glass one.
Okay. Can I try to, like, feel it more? See. I don't know.
As you touch it, you feel your sense of smell come back, and it feels amazing. Like it was the best smell in the entire world, and it makes you just ravenously hungry.
I'm gonna try to eat it.
You do that, and as you're eating it, your sense of smell and taste slowly start to come back. You feel as though every piece you bite out of it is going into you, but staying in you. And the shapes look familiar from some medical textbooks.
Okay. I'll eat it all.
Okay, you do that. You feel a loose amalgamation of things rattling around inside of your chest cavity.
Okay.
However, your nose socket is registering smell, but you don't have a nose, and you still don't have anything in your eye sockets. You do have a tongue, though.
Okay. I'm gonna try to climb the tree again.
Okay.
Fuck.
And this time a piece of it tears away. And you can smell now. It smells like blood. And it runs wet and sticky over your hands. Oh, I guess you can smell now too. It smells like burnt flesh.
Yeah, I did light it on fire. Fuck. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna try to climb it again.
Okay. Yeah, give me another athletic. Okay, this time you take your time with it. You use the rip as a handhold, and you propel yourself up into the flesh tree. You climb comfortably up to the summit. You're still getting rained on by small spheres. You can hear them falling and rolling into the water. How are you orienting yourself right now? Oh, doing a thing? Yep. We'll cut back to the guys in the desert. Guys in the desert, the rain is going to abate. It seems that it happens quite quickly, comes on strong, but then comes away just as fleetingly. The moisture retreats into the sand, much in the way that it did prior. Almost as if there is no evidence. And you all hear the rain stop.
I'm gonna get out from underneath.
You can do that.
I'm gonna try to kill the one I was underneath. From seeing the one that I killed previously, did I see where I shot it?
Yes, you did. Right behind the shoulder blade.
I'm gonna aim for right there.
Okay. Are you doing it point blank, or are you going to take a step back?
I'm gonna take a step back.
Okay. You take a step back, let your attack fly. Damn. That didn't work out exactly the way you wanted it to. You stepped into a soft spot in the sand. As you were stepping back, your arrow goes wide and shoots right over top of it. And you spooked it a little bit. So it's kind of makes that squealing noise that you heard from the night before. And the other ones pick up on that. And they're all starting to move away from you. Sheathing sword, you are underneath one of them currently, and they are all moving away.
I'm gonna hold on to it for a minute.
Okay. You guys see the bird guy getting carried away. Vith, are you still doing your thing?
Yeah, I heard the arrow fly, so I'm gonna pop my head up.
Okay. You see the creatures retreating, and your brother sitting there with an arrow like, ah, damn it.
I'm gonna
How
try to
far-
take another shot.
How far away is the one? Can I see the guy underneath one of the creatures?
Roll perception.
Yeah.
And you can roll your attack again.
Damn.
You lost him in the crowd. But Aku, you drop another one of the creatures. You take a moment, steady yourself, and then this time you just hit it square. It's down.
Okay.
These things die like almost immediately. Sheathing sword, the other creatures are now very spooked, and they are picking up their pace and trotting along. If you're gonna hold on, I'm gonna need you to roll a dex save or a strength check.
No, I'm just gonna pat it a little bit, squawk, and then kind of like roll out from underneath. Hop off.
Okay. That's acrobatic. You're trying to drop and roll.
Don't worry about this. I'm acrobatic as fuck.
I'm really glad that you nailed that check after saying that.
Look, I got a +8 on that thing. If I wasn't acrobatic as fuck, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Okay, you rolled out. The pig things are retreating over one of the sand dunes and away from the pond. But there's a nice big dead one in front of Aku.
Vith, can you make?
I'm gonna kneel down with my leatherworking tools.
Cool. Go to town on it. Can you? Yeah. This one's fresh. The skin is still attached to it pretty closely. It's not peeling away nearly as nicely as the other stuff. I'll say you're not damaging the hide, but you're taking your time with it.
Okay.
Bird person. Sheathing sword.
Yep.
What are you up to?
Did I make it like up a dune or anything while I was attached
Halfway
to
up.
this thing? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll climb to the top of the nearest dune to see if I can see anything from where we are.
Cool. What you looking for? Just anything?
Any kind of idea of where we might be, next logical place to go, anything.
Okay. If you follow the... Well, wait a second. Give me perception.
Alright.
Okay. You see the sand dunes that you were looking at from the party that you've been following, and they arc along a wide right-hand arc, and in the very far distance you see a couple of rocks jutting up.
Okay, I'll squawk to get their attention. Like, ah! And then
You do
point.
that.
I'm gonna look at him.
He's pointing.
Can I tell which direction?
With his whole wing.
I'm gonna look at my brother. That's where we were going, right?
It
I'm gonna
was.
sound
Yeah,
confused.
we were following the mountain. Sorry.
Sure.
Damn it, man. I'm a killer, not a navigator.
From where I am, can I see if there's an easier path or one that would take us maybe under some sort of field of cover, like a hellish forest? I don't know.
In the direction of the mountains, there's nothing. Actually, just to the left of it, there appears to be some kind of darker spot on the horizon, but you can't discern what that is from this distance.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll make my way back to the other two.
You walk down to Aku, standing next to his kill, and Vith, who is skinning one of the large beasts.
I will point at Aku and squawk, pointing at the corpse. And then he hears the voice of an old man. I don't think it would be familiar to him. But the old man says, "Now remember, whenever we kill it, we use it. Don't let a kill go to waste."
He's speaking like an old hunter.
I'm gonna sniff the freshly torn off skin, see if it's edible.
Smells good. Not the skin bit, but the muscle bit underneath.
Have I finished skinning?
About halfway. Do you want to do another thing to try and speed it up, or you want to be careful?
Well, it depends. I don't really have anything to stitch this together.
If you have leatherworking tools, that comes with some basic stuff to stitch it together.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll speed it up.
Okay, I'll make you roll for it again. Okay, you do good. You manage to peel the rest of it off without holing it in any way. You just get one big pelt.
Okay.
Large enough to cover yourself. Add another 15 pounds of husk.
I'm gonna hand it to my brother.
There you go. Your brother hands you a big fleshy tarp.
Cool. I'm gonna take out my short sword and try to carve this one up into steaks.
The tarp or the animal?
The animal.
Okay. Yeah, you can try some butchery. Do you want to go at it tactically, or do you just want to start hacking at it?
I'll be tactic about it.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure what to make you roll there. Probably nature for carving it up.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna sit down and meditate.
You can do that. And you are carving up some primo steaks. Lots of meat on this creature. So you just keep cutting up slabs of meat and laying them back onto the creature. So you're stacking up meat.
Cool.
It is uncooked. It's just raw. Not like the
Okay.
other one that was on the vent.
Right.
How
How many steaks did I get?
as many as you want to carry, honestly. Each steak is 2 pounds, and they are bloody steak.
Does
Okay.
my mess kit have salt in it?
Not enough for salting
Okay.
and dehydrating it. Just enough for seasoning.
I'm gonna cut 6 of them off. Take 3,
Okay.
and then give 3 to Vith.
Okay. How are you packing them?
Good point.
I'm gonna use my bedroll. Ooh, actually,
Gross.
I rip the sleeves off of my robe.
I
Yeah,
have
okay.
clothes that I don't use.
Too late, I already ripped the sleeves.
Okay, I'll use that then.
Actually,
but- Go ahead.
I'm gonna take. Is the husk just enough to cover me, or is there a little bit extra?
It's decent. Like it covers you full.
Okay.
You feel
Um,
safe underneath it.
I'm just gonna take that and wrap up the steaks in that, since they're part of the same.
Okay. Yeah, you lean the steaks against it and just roll the whole thing up.
Got a pigman sushi roll now.
Pigman sushi roll. Episode title if I ever heard one. Okay, and Vith, are you wrapping yours up in the tattered clothes of your?
Yeah,
here?
will that hold all 3 or no?
Oh, easily.
Oh, perfect then.
It's a full sleeve, so
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So you wrap up 6 pounds of meat.
It's not like I'm wearing midget clothes. I am a medium-sized being.
You said they were 2 pounds.
Yeah, 2 pounds each. You grabbed 3. You got 6 pounds of meat.
Okay.
Speaking of meat, we've got a friend up a meat tree.
Alright. I'm gonna try to catch some of the falling things if I can.
Okay, you stick your hand up in the air. Give me sleight of hand. Nice. Yeah, that one lands perfectly in your palm.
I'm gonna try to put it in my eye socket, tail first.
You do that. You feed it into your eyeball socket. You have sudden, depth perceptionless black and white vision. Also, roll 1d4. Okay. Thank you. So you have no depth perception, and you see in black and white. You see that you're on a small, round island with a tree growing up out of the center, but also makes part of the ground up. Eyeballs are raining from the sky, landing and rolling into the river that surrounds you. That seems to be a moat made out of blood. There are some bowls stacked at the bottom, and you can look down into your own rib cage and see that your organs are all there after you ate them.
I'm gonna try to catch another eyeball.
You can do that. Roll sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, okay. So you go to reach out of the flesh tree, lose your hand, and fall out of the flesh tree onto the ground. You squish a whole bunch of the eyeballs and send one of the bowls careening away.
Alright.
But there are all eyeballs all around you now.
Alright. I'll pick one up.
Okay. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, roll a d10.
Okay.
Cool. Interesting. Okay. You get full color vision back with depth perception. You
Alright.
can see that the tree looks like your skin.
Okay.
You're still surrounded by eyeballs. The sky here is gray.
You said, did I tear a chunk off or did I just rip it?
You just ripped it.
I'm gonna go to that piece and try to rip it off.
Okay, you start tugging on the tree and you're ripping off a larger chunk. It's making a sickening tearing sound as you're doing it. It's making you a little bit queasy, but probably not the weirdest thing you've ever seen. You're tearing it off of the tree, and you get a large sheet of it.
I'm just gonna try to like wrap myself with it.
It sticks to you. But the piece was too long. So you wrapped it all the way around your rib cage, and then it overlapped a little bit.
Can I kind of like try to tear it down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me, how would you, if you're trying to tear it exactly along the seam to make it perfect,
Yeah.
that's sleight of hand, I think. It's not perfect. You've got a little bit of overlap and a little bit of under in some places, so you've got to stretch it. So it's a bit tight, but you've got a relative mid-range torso figured out.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the piece that I ripped and start wrapping it around an arm.
You got a little wrist and a bit of a forearm.
All right. I'm just gonna keep tearing flesh off the tree.
Okay, and start patching yourself together.
Yep.
Okay, you can do that. We'll go back to the desert folk. Desert folk, you got your meat, you got your stuff, your tarps, your meat tarps, and you got a bird person pointing in one direction.
I was
I'm just gonna start
meditating.
walking that direction.
I was meditating until they were done. Whenever they're done.
Okay.
Where did the creatures go that direction?
No, the creatures went the opposite direction.
Can we see them or no?
They went over a sand dune, but they were going pretty slow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start walking towards the direction he pointed in.
Aku is following back on the track that you guys approached here on.
I will follow.
I will follow.
Okay. You're all going to start walking along the sand dunes. It's been about a day's worth of stuff. Please take a day's worth of rations out of your inventory. And you all sip your canteens within a relative amount.
Is it still hot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You won't be wearing your cloaks in this. It's quite hot.
I meant the water.
Oh, the water? Yes, the water is still hot. But it's just because the ambient temperature outside won't allow it to cool.
Okay.
Be like taking boiled water out in the California heat.
Don't remind me.
Gross. Okay. You are all walking around on the ridge, heading towards the stone-topped peaks in the distance. And we'll go back to Jor, because we're almost at the halfway point. Jor, you've kind of got a body. The seals where they all matched up are kind of just skin that's been budded to budded, but if you leave it for long enough, you get a cool little crust along the edges, and you feel like, yeah, this will scar up nice.
All right.
Want to make any changes?
No.
Okay. I'm assuming you put everything in the right spot.
Attempted to, at least. As far as I know.
Okay. Yeah, you're not a Ken doll or anything.
All right. Well, if I'm all patched together, I guess I'm gonna go jump in the river.
Okay, you jump in the river. Nothing happens.
I'm gonna swim down the river.
Okay. As you swim, you leave where the little island is, and in the distance you see island, and you start approaching it. On the
Okay.
island, there is a skeleton, and it's scrambling around on its hands and knees.
Okay.
You see a tree in the middle of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go put some eyeballs in it.
Okay. You approach the skeleton, pull yourself up onto the shore, and put eyeballs into the socket of the skeleton. One brown one, one blue one. It looks up at you and is shocked to see you. It tries to recoil from you. It's an anthropomorphically human skeleton.
Okay.
You would have seen on the shoreline that there's a wood bowl, a metal bowl, and a glass bowl.
I'm gonna go put the glass bowl by the tree.
Okay, you do that. The internal organs of your friend climb out of the tree and into the bowl.
All right. I'll go. Have him eat the organs out of the bowl.
Yeah, they're trying to cry, but having a hard time of it since they don't have liquid in their body, and they're freaking out a little bit. They're just gonna sit there with the bowl on their lap, heavy breathing for a while.
Eat.
They can't hear you.
Oh. I'm just gonna get frustrated and leave.
Okay, you leave. You hop back in the water?
Yep.
Okay.
Start swimming.
Any direction?
The same way I was going before, if I can.
Back towards your island or back away from your island?
Away.
Okay. You're swimming and you approach another island.
I'm gonna go the other way this time. Back past my island.
Okay. You're swimming and you approach another island. It's got a tree on it.
Alright, I'm gonna take the wood bowl, I think, put water in it and put it over myself again.
You get pulled in to the water. It reaches out and takes you. You are churned amongst a bunch of bodies, but this time you can see it. You are submerged in what looks like a murky blood river. There are dismembered limbs floating around you. There are partial bodies floating amongst you, some alive, some dead, thrashing. You see a little bit of what you see in yourself of people that have been patched together, but they're failing to swim because they don't have all their skin, and you pull yourself up onto the bank. You feel sand between your fingers, and you look up to a red, gloomy sky. And we will stop there for the halftime so that you guys can grab a bite to eat and we can do bathroom breaks. And we'll meet back here in 5 to 10 minutes.
Alright.
Sounds good. See everybody then.
Cool. still can't get it to do the thing. Anyways.
What, the
Welcome
crabs?
No, the
The Fate from
It's
Black.
The
It's fine.
Metallica song? Oh,
We'll fix it in post. That'll be fine.
we'll fix it in post. Be
We don't
fine.
have post.
Get the new guy on it.
So I'll get the intern to work on it.
Welcome back. We'll pick back up with the guys walking. As you approach the mountain, in the distance, you see a bunch of mountain peaks, and I can change the picture for you. If I get onto the right screen here. You are approaching a mountain. I've changed the picture for you. There is a visible sun now. As you are getting through the desert, there is one sun. It is not moving. It is not setting. It is just sitting right above the mountains. As you approach it, to the left-hand side of the mountains, you can see a low-lying scrublands of what looks like brush and trees. And to the right-hand side, you can see a river flowing into the mountains. And then directly ahead, you see the mountains and cliff sides. This looks like actually kind of a wall of mountain.
Which way do we goes?
Can I tell relative to how far we've traveled, the direction that we were heading, like towards the thing that I had noticed like off in the distance? I was like, yeah, that's probably where we're gonna go.
It's
Do
the
I kind of have
mountains.
yeah? Okay. Then I'm just gonna keep heading towards the mountains.
Okay. A bird person's walking to the mountains. Sorry. Sheathing sword.
We don't know his name still.
I'll follow.
True. Okay. If you guys are just following along, you're going to eventually reach the base of the mountains. We'll cut over to Jor. Jor, you're alive, you think? You're incredibly hungry and incredibly thirsty. The river behind you is disgusting, and it's making the sound like wet meat thrashing around. To your right-hand side is a tall, broad cliff face. Off to the-
Nice.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do I see anything else?
To your left, you see an expansive desert stretching off into the distance.
Does it look like I can climb up the cliff?
It's very, very, very steep, and you're feeling kind of malnourished. Also, you're really warm because you're naked, and it's really hot out.
Alright, I'm gonna just start walking alongside the cliff.
Okay. You can do that. You're walking along the edge of the cliff. You guys are approaching the cliff. You guys are walking towards it, and you see a small break in it where the cliff edges meet at one point, where you see it brings down to a very, very narrow spot, and you see two steel walls brought right up next to each other. They've got spikes coming out of it, and the steel walls appear to glow from the inside.
I kind of stop short and kind of hold out my, claws and like stop the other guys from walking. Just kind of look
Okay.
up at it and go. Do I
You do
hear
that.
anything?
You hear yourself go,
I'll keep walking.
You said you walked right up to it?
Yep.
Okay. You're standing below it, and you just made a bird sound at it.
I'll keep walking.
Okay. Just a moment. I'm loading a photograph into this thing.
I like
Um,
how you said photograph instead of just photo. Love it.
I'm old school, man.
So official.
In which way do you keep walking? To the left, to the right? Because the two walls are meeting in the middle, and they are impassable.
I'll try and go around the left.
Okay, it meets right up with the edge of the cliff face, as though these two slabs have been pulled in tightly towards the wall.
I'm just gonna knock on it like it's a door.
You do that. It's hollow sounding and it rings out very, very loud. The metal is hot, very hot underneath your touch. You feel like though if you would have touched it for longer than just knocking on it, it would have hurt your hand quite a bit. The ringing sound reverberates around you, and you see the metal buck forward and split at the top, and a face comes out from between the two things from above you, about 80 feet up in the air. It is a helmed mask looking down at you. Do you want to do a nature check to see what you think it is?
Sure.
What do I see? Nature. This is a fire giant. Most definitely a fire giant. Does anybody else want to do anything? It's just kind of staring down at you all.
I'm gonna jump back from where I was, kind of position myself between, like the wall-like structure / this face, and Aku, and kind of assume a defensive position.
Okay. You do that. You assume a defensive position.
Yeah.
Swap the picture out.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna act
pull up.
friendly towards it.
I'm not gonna draw them up. I'm just gonna like pull them out and hold them at my sides, but the fire shield and my axe.
Okay. Let's go to your guys' page. Does anybody speak giant?
Nope.
No show of hands? Nope. No giant?
Nada.
No hands on this one.
Okay. You hear a voice say something in a language you don't understand. It speaks down to you.
I'm gonna repeat it back exactly how he said it.
Squawk.
You can do that because you don't need to technically roll for your mimicry.
Yeah.
You can just do it. But also roll persuasion.
Okay. Not my best skill. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Not bad. It's not bad. It seems more confused than angry about this. And then it goes, ah, and it spits at you, and a fireball lands next to you guys harmlessly, and then it pulls the shields back up towards itself.
I'm gonna point past it. Say, bah!
You do that. In the distance, you see a figure approaching you. It's walking slowly.
From behind the shields, or
From the next
Right.
to the cliff face to your right-hand side.
Could I look
Can I
at
check?
it and see if I can tell what it is?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull out my telescope and look at it.
Nice. You see a naked guy covered in blood.
Does it look familiar?
Look at his face. He's got no hair. He's got one blue eye, one red eye, with a little bit of gold in it. But his face structure, that's Jor. That's zombie Jor.
I'm gonna pull it down quickly. It's George. And then I'm gonna hand the telescope over to my brother.
I look at Vith and kind of cock an eye and then say, I'm a knight.
And then I start nodding.
I'm gonna take a look through the scope.
Yeah, you see a naked dude. He's walking towards you. What? He looks kind of familiar, but he's all patches and blood and scars and naked, and the eyes are the wrong color, and he's got no hair.
I'm going to yell out, Jar!
Can
Do
I
hear anything?
can I see them?
You can hear them and you can see them.
I'm gonna wave.
Guess
you
it's
can,
yours.
You can do that.
I'm gonna hold his lance up, little knapsack.
I'll point
at
at it and
you-
say, I'm a knight.
At you screaming Jor, the giant's face comes out through the shield, and he goes, Akhra, and closes it back up.
I'm gonna look over at Jor again.
Yeah. Upon seeing my lance, I'm gonna hurry over there as best I can.
I'm gonna run to him too.
You guys approach each other in a hastily manner. It's a beautiful.
Jar!
I'll jaunt over as well.
While nobody's looking, I'm gonna put the telescope in my backpack
Nice.
because it's shiny.
You
Fucker.
do that. You are reunited with Joradam.
I'm gonna hand him his lance and then lay the pack out, and then just kind of like, I don't know, gesture and show him.
I'm gonna smell him, see if it really is Jor.
He smells like other bodies. Not like he is other bodies or is secreting other bodies, but like he was swimming with some. He smells like corpses.
Mm.
And a little bit like burnt.
Oh,
If you approach him from the back, you see he's got a large burn. It runs from his mid back down to his ass cheek.
Looks painful.
I'll
Flesh
walk up.
tree.
I'll walk up to Jor, kind of give him a little bit of a sniff, and then point at his stuff and say, I'm a knight.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my stuff back on.
Okay, out of Jay, can you take us through that list one more time?
Yeah, sure. The whole list or just the stuff that's his?
The stuff that's laid out on the blanket right now.
Alright, there's a longsword, belt of hill giant strength, 2 small healing potions, 2 large healing potions, 2 potions of hill giant strength, 1 amber potion, 1 swirling black and blue potion, 2 pelts. There is an armor of the wandering, not sure because the screenshot was cut off, runic staff, a ring, a nice set of boots, a pouch that is quite bulbous, and a black cloak, a book, and a small spherical metallic orb.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take everything except for the sword, I think.
Okay. That's a lot of dressing. You
Yeah.
just sit there and start piling clothes onto your
and
body,
the belt.
including
Even
the
the
belt.
belt?
You don't
No,
want
no
the belt?
No belt.
Okay.
I'll type it out to him while you're telling us what's going on.
Okay. Remaining in the hapsack for Vith is a sword that was wrapped up and a belt of hill giant strength.
Alright, I'm just gonna grab those and put them in my bag. Cause he took the lance, so I'll just grab it all, put it in the bag.
Yep. The rest of that will fit easily in your pack.
Okay.
Okay. You're all still standing at the base of the fire giant.
You said it was next to cliffs?
Yes. To the left and right of him is cliffs. He seems to have backed himself in a corner or be barricading the path forwards.
I'm gonna go stealth.
Okay. Unfortunately, because the sun is directly above you, there's nowhere to hide. And your clothes don't blend in well enough with the sand for you to kind of lay flush.
Okay. I'm just gonna start climbing the face of the cliff. See if I can't get to the top and see what's beyond him.
Okay, you can start climbing up the cliff. Would you like to give me an athletics check? You're doing pretty good. You're climbing up the edge off to his left or his right?
His right.
Okay. As you're climbing, you're making it up about halfway through. The handholds are getting pretty thin, but you're able to see over a little bit more of his shield. This guy is, for all intents and purposes, huge. It looks like even if you made it up all the way up the cliff, he's not as tall as the cliffs are.
He's taller.
Nope, he's shorter.
Hmm.
But they go straight up, and he's in the middle.
Gotcha.
So, as you're climbing, if you were to surpass him, you'd still be climbing. Or
Once
you'd
I
have to
get-
try. Would you try
Yeah.
to crawl around him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what this guy's perception is. Passive perception is 15. So while you're climbing, roll a stealth check. You got to beat 15. You do that. You're taking your time. The rest of you see your teammate just scale the mountain and sneak up and around the fire giant.
I'm going to kind of hold my wing out and stop them for a second, and then cast a cantrip. It is Minor Illusion.
Okay. What is your minor illusion?
It is going to be one of those pig things that we saw, but it's going to be screaming, and I'm putting it at my max distance ahead of me, so it would be on the other side of the giant. So 30 feet from where I'm standing, but on the other side.
Can you cast into a place that you can't see?
As long as it's within range, I presume. Because it doesn't say that I have to see it, just that it's within range. Presuming I don't put it in the middle of a mountain.
It's not.
Guess that's your
And I'll let you do that though.
Okay. So it's just a pig screaming. And then I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on the party. Minus the ranger that's no longer with us.
Speaking of that ranger will see the fire giant look over his shoulder at the pig and then put down both of his fire shields, let go of them. However, they are still forming a perfect barrier, and he turns around and he's grasping at the ground, trying to grab the pig. You other guys with Pass Without a Trace, what are you doing? Nothing. Nada?
Soundboard, Jay. Soundboard.
I'm gonna point after where the ranger had went, of whom I don't know his name. And then I'm going to stealth up the mountain, try and get around the shield.
Give me an athletics check.
Can I make it acrobatic instead? By
If you're
hopping
trying
and
to be
stuff?
particular. Yeah, hop around. You nail it. You're Jackie Channing up that motherfucker.
You want a stealth check too, or no?
Not yet.
Alright.
What about the other two?
Monkey King.
I'm gonna just look at him.
Was that the
Well
sound that
done,
you made
Jack.
too? Because that's perfectly timed.
Perfect.
Vith begins to cry. You can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to follow him.
Okay. How?
He was climbing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to climb.
All right, that's athletics. Yeah, you're doing okay, actually.
I'm gonna
you-
follow suit.
You begin to scale. Also, give me another athletics. You are doing excellent. Natural bodybuilder. Scaling the mountain. All three of you are going to be flush with the top of the shields. You see that the fire giant has his back to you, and he is scrambling at the ground trying to catch a pig that is not there. he's getting quite frustrated. So he's kind of looking around now like someone's playing a practical joke on him. Now you all roll stealth, except for Aku.
That's a 30.
30, 24, and 33?
Yep.
Okay. He looks around and he's just kind of frustrated with his situation. So let's see what he does for perception. What's he got for perception?
15. 'Cause that's what you said earlier.
That's passive perception. Now he's actively looking because he's had a trick played on him. But he only gets a 20. Still pretty good though. He won't see you, but he sees through the pig illusion and now he's mad. He's gonna look over the shields and see that you guys are missing, and now he's furious. He doesn't see you at all. He thinks you might have gone stealth. He grabs both of his shields, pushes them away from himself, breathes fire into both shields to the point where they get smoldering, scorchingly hot. You see like heat waves coming off of the metal, and then he throws them both forward as hard as he can and casts a huge wave of sand out from him, and then looks down to see if anything got churned up. You guys are still holding onto the cliffside above. Aku, did you start climbing down?
No, I'm still shimmering this way.
Okay. The rest of you will see Aku scaling along linearly, or laterally, rather, away from the main gate area.
I'm gonna cast another cantrip, Minor Illusion, just of a sound where the sand had, like, overpiled from all that, what he had just done. And it's going to be, of the time when I was watching Tural, Jor, Vith, and Aku come back with a prisoner on one of their first missions, and they came back to Tokek, and Tural had told the person they had brought back that he had branded them, and he started freaking out and screaming. I'm going to mimic that sound over in that sandy direction.
Okay. You see the fire giant reach over to his right, which is the opposite side of the cliff from you. He pulls a piece of the cliff face off, and he hucks it as hard as he can at the sound. And it crashes into the ground like a meteorite strike.
And the sound will stop.
And the sound will stop. Okay. And the sound stops. And he's going to kind of look investigatingly and then pull both shields back in towards himself. Satisfied. What are you guys doing?
Shimmying along.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep shimmying? Okay. Give me another athletics check.
I am hopping and skipping and jumping. Oof.
You were hopping and skipping and jumping. You are sliding down the cliff face.
Is he close to me?
He was, not anymore. You're falling. And you're falling.
When I get near
Falling
to the
some more.
bottom, I'm going to kick my feet off the ledge and try and, like, backflip and land on my feet.
Acrobatic landing. Okay. Try and save it. DC 15.
Nailed it.
Woo! Graceful. Okay. You land at the feet of the fire giant. You're looking up his kilt.
I'm just gonna
Ooh.
book it through his legs, the direction that we were going.
Okay. You start hustling along the sand as fast and as quietly as you can. The rest of you... Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Zach, you're sliding too. You're not
Yep.
falling, but you're sliding.
I'm gonna try to stop.
Okay, that's a strength check. Catch yourself. You stop, but you're 20 feet lower than the other guys are. You got handholds.
Alright. I'm just gonna keep trying to shimmy down then.
Okay. Aku, you've made it quite far now. You can see that this narrow pathway kind of lets up into a wider area, but it's still kind of a winding path. It looks like it's almost like a canyon maze.
Can I go higher to try to see over? To
Sure
see
you
a
can.
path, the direct path?
Yeah, climb. But you're gonna need another strength check to climb up.
Athletics or strength?
You can go for athletics if you want.
Okay.
There's no handholds. Unless you can improvise a way to climb up.
I'm gonna try to jump from the location I'm at and grab onto nearest hand.
Gonna jump, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That is a strength check.
Wouldn't not acrobatics since I'm
Jay, what is it to jump? There's actually a specific mechanic to it.
It's. Fuck. Hold on. I'll find my book. Sorry.
I just want to make sure I'm doing the stats right.
Dum-de-dum.
We can retcon it if
Please
we
hold.
need to. You
Yeah,
can roll
that's
your
fine. Keep
athletics. Or your acrobatics. Or what was it?
Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
acrobatics.
Google. It's taking too long.
You nailed it. You totally nailed it. Leap of faith pays off, and you find a very easy path up. So you climb, and you climb, and you climb, and you look out into the area that you were trying to observe. You see that it does diverge partway down. There's a left path that spirals into a round area, and then a right-hand path that seems to be... looks like where maybe the fire giant sleeps.
Pasted it. Sorry, it's long.
Okay.
There's no. Those are the only two paths. Does any of them look fairly direct as to where we might need to be going?
Well, the one that ends where you assume the fire giant sleeps is an end. It's a dead end path, and the other one spirals into the center, and then kind of where you can feel like the cliffs pull in there. Your instincts would tell you it's your best bet.
Okay. I'm gonna start scaling down now.
You do that. And since you nailed your acrobatics, I'll just let you do that.
Okay.
Jor, you're shimmying along. You see Aku start to go down.
I'll start going down too then.
I'm gonna have to make you do an athletics check. Okay, you're doing fine. Vith, your bro's going down.
Same thing. I'm gonna try to follow him.
Athletics check. You're falling.
I'm gonna try to grab on.
Strength check. Ooh, nice. You managed to hold on, but you botched your strength or your stealth roll on that. Please roll to see how much you echoed when you recaught yourself.
What would that be?
Stealth.
Okay. Ooh.
Ooh. You braced very gently and prevented your gear from banging noisily against the cliff face. Nobody notices. It was super cool and nobody noticed.
Perfect. I'm gonna try to keep following where my brother went.
Okay, you can follow his track.
I'm actually gonna wait at that little fork in the road.
Okay, Sword will meet you there. Can I call you Sword for short? It's easier.
Sure.
Sword meets you there.
Or
You're
the
both
Kenku.
standing at the fork. The Kenku.
I can go.
You're all now down and at the fork. There's a large canyon before you. A path diverges off to the left-hand side and away from you, and the right-hand side and away from you. Behind you is a huge fire giant with his back to you.
I'm gonna whisper, "We go left."
I'm gonna start going left.
Okay, you all start walking left. You guys snuck past all of the traps. That's not meta at all. Okay, you are approaching, or you keep going around in a right-hand spiral, and eventually it ends. In the center of this canyon is a very, very, very large, round, black hole. Not an empty hole, but rather more like a manhole cover. It is covering, or it's like a big round black circle that's split exactly down the middle.
I'm gonna light a torch and throw it down in there to see if I can't see anything as it's going down.
Okay, it bangs off the top.
Oh.
It's a material that is so black it looks like a hole.
I'm gonna poke Vith. Hungry.
I'm gonna hand him 8 rations. Or 8 days worth, rather.
I will eat one.
Okay.
I'm gonna touch the top of it to see if it's hot. Kind of like you're, trying to see if a pan is hot.
You touch it. It's warm from the sun, but it's not too extremely hot. It's got some sigils on it. If you look really, really close, they've been carved in to the surface, so it's not completely flush.
Would I notice if they say anything?
You don't speak the language of whatever this is. But if you're looking at the lid, which I assume you are,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like towards the center of the circle are 2 handholds made for hands that are relatively the size of horses. You can roll investigation or insight on that if you want. You would wager that the fire giant has to open this up.
Mm. How wide is it?
Pretty wide. You feel like that big sucker from behind you could climb down easily. It's heavy.
Well, no, like how wide is the cover?
Oh, the cover itself?
Yeah.
Probably about 50 feet across. Round. So diameter, I guess.
I'm gonna take my final strip of hempen rope, cut it in half, and tie both of them to each handle.
Okay.
Try to-
You tie one to one handle and one to the other handle.
I'm gonna fly in a rage and grab both of them.
You grab both sides of the ropes.
Oh, you threw it over across?
He.
I thought you like threw it through the handle so you could like pull it open.
He has a rope attached. If this is the gate,
Mhm.
there are 2 handles, and he threw a rope around each one of them,
Oh, over each of them.
and then he's pulled them out in each direction.
Gotcha. I'll grab just one of them, whatever's closest to me.
Okay. You grab one of the ropes.
Yep, and I'm going to fly in a rage.
Okay. How about the other guys?
We go grab the other rope.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the opposite rope of the one he's grabbing.
Okay. And what about you, Kenku?
I kind of squawk and make like a clapping motion with my wings. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cheering them on.
Good job. We'll do our strength check first from Vith.
It's a check, not a throw.
Yeah, I
Think
guess
so.
it would be a strength check.
Okay. Woo.
Door doesn't budge.
Ooh.
Wait,
I have advantage.
you have advantage to push, pull, and break things. With a
Yeah.
22, the door shifts a little bit, but not quite. Let's give the other 2 guys combined.
You said strength check.
Okay, combined, you moved the door slightly, but you feel like both of them need to be lifted at the same time. They seem to be interlocking in the middle, and one is snagging on the other.
I'll go help the very upset lizard guy.
Okay, you grab on the rope with him.
I'm gonna yell out coordinations. And count down from 3, 2, 1 to pull that way.
Your voice echoed off the canyon wall, so it sounded like 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, and then you guys pulled at different times on the same ropes, and nothing happened. It's a good plan, though.
I'm just gonna start heaving. Just start pulling.
Okay. The little bird dude's pulling Vith.
God damn it.
Okay, the doors pull up slightly and then fall with a clatter. They make a really deep boom sound when the doors land flat. They just still don't budge quite.
I'm gonna try to feel the ground to see if I feel it shaking, as if the giant is coming over this way.
Roll perception.
Mm.
You two worked up in a tizzy over the rope. Exactly. Good roleplay.
I'm just gonna drop the rope and look around. Do I see anything else around us?
Cliff walls. Written in the cliffside is something, but it's written in Abyssal. Do you speak Abyssal?
Nope. I'm going to go to Vith. Sorry, Aku. I'm gonna point at him and kind of be like, ah! At the writing.
I'm gonna take out my magical texting notebook.
You take out your magical texting notebook.
I'm gonna start drawing the symbols of what is.
Just as he's going to do that, I'll just take the quill and just do it for him. Because I am proficient, or rather an expert in forgery. So...
Do you let him have the quill and magic book?
I will.
Okay. He copies down exactly what is on the side of the mountain.
Once I'm done, I
it
hand
just-
it back.
It disappears into the page, and from the other side bleeds through in beautiful cursive writing. You've made it to the gates of Dis. Once you get past, send word, and I will guide you to which bar you will be doing your interviews for your guide. I have arranged for 3 guides. However, you may interview more if you wish. Good luck.
I'm just gonna write back. How do you open the door?
I've never been.
Then how do you know so much? I'm getting
I know
frustrated.
where Dis is. I can send messages to Dis.
I'm just gonna throw it back in my bag aggressively.
You do that.
5-foot-tall Kenku kind of shrugs his wings a little bit, and then starts walking towards the fire giant.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop him.
You can try.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to physically stop him. So what do you
Okay.
want?
It's a strength check. Kenku, roll to resist that.
What do you want me to roll?
You can roll either just a strength save, or I will also let you do a sleight of hand. Nope, he grabs you. He gets a fistful of your feathers and stops you dead.
Alright. I'm gonna start going around and casting guidance on our party.
Nice. Okay. You're walking around and divining. on each one of them. Everybody can add a D4 to your strength or your ability check, but you've only got a minute.
So let's go pull on those ropes.
One more times.
Gonna
This
run
time
over
no
there.
countdown. Just watch fingers.
Am I still in a rage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Let's do it.
Give me a pull. Nope. So close, but nope. One of the doors gets lifted up, but the other one doesn't make it, and it falls flat. It does that thing again where it lands and makes a clamor. It's making you very, very worried because that was very loud. Do you want to give it another pull?
Did they unlock?
They kind of went like this, and then they fell down flat again.
So
It's
one's not
close.
sitting on top of the other. They're still both interlocked.
They still interlocked. You've got one left in it for the ability check.
One more time, I'll do the.
Um,
Everybody give me a pull or no?
Oh my god.
It's okay, you have advantage. Okay, this time you get it. The doors come halfway over their halfway point, and they start sliding backwards, and you are now eclipsed in the shadow of some doors that are falling towards you.
I'm gonna roll out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
me
Rolling.
too.
running.
Okay, as you do that, the doors land flat with a huge clamor that echoes through the entire canyon. There's no fucking way anybody missed that. However, there's a large hole that it is exposed in the ground. You hear heavy footfalls approaching.
I'm gonna grab a torch, light it, throw it down the thing, look at my guys, and jump in.
Okay.
Going after him.
Is there a ladder?
No,
Or is it
there
just
is
straight
no
down?
ladder. Straight down.
I'm not gonna fall down. I'm gonna try to,
Scale.
use my claws to
Yeah, that's what I
slow
was
me
thinking.
down.
Like
There's
scratch
no-
into it.
Edge.
Oh. That changes the idea.
Fuck it. Diving
Alright.
in.
Yeah.
Geronimo.
Okay. You're
gonna-
passing through a misty threshold. And it gradually gets thicker and thicker and thicker like a cloud until you pass into pure water, but slowly enough that the mist builds, you pass into it, and then you feel like you're upside down and now swimming up. And as you do that, you surface and are now standing on clay in the heart of a city. But you're all in the heart of the city. It is red buildings in every direction, tall and well made, actually. You are in a bustling metropolis. There's strange and foul smells amongst you, but you are all standing together on a round circle in kind of a courtyard.
Is anyone looking at us?
Everybody's ignoring you, but there are some things about.
I'm just gonna kind of motion that we get off this like platform.
I'll start yanking the sleeve of Aku and motioning to right.
I'm gonna pull out the book. Right, frustratingly, we're in which bar?
Planet Krieg.
Where is that at?
How should I know?
You're the expert.
I'm an expert.
I'm gonna pick a direction and walk in that direction.
You do that. You are walking
West.
down a road. Yeah. There's no west.
All right. Fuck it.
Um,
You tell me where I'm going. I don't
There
know.
is. Actually, give me an insight check.
Alright.
Okay. You're not 100% sure, but in the distance down a very long road, it looks like it leads to one colossal tower in the very, what you would assume is the center of the city. Do you want to go towards, away, or left, or right? Using that as a way marker.
Go left.
Okay, you're ducking down a side street.
I'll follow.
Following.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around to see what kind of language is on the buildings.
Not a lot of things actually written on the outside of the buildings. Mostly just symbols and shapes, and then some of them are runes that you don't recognize. There are, however, some things written in common. There was one that just said food, and it looked like it was carved into some wood with a knife. You're not
I'll
sure
go
if
in
it
there.
was a place. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You go through a set of double doors that are part made of bone and part made of skin, and you enter a room that's got a large trap door on one side and then a guy standing at a table at the other end. He is twice as tall as a normal humanoid. He's got a big cleaver in his hand and an apron over top of his naked form, and he's chopping bits of a creature off, and he's piling them on the left-hand side of the table.
I'm
I'll
just
walk
gonna.
over and pull on his apron.
You do that. He looks down at you, and then he looks up at the other folk.
Common?
Common.
Can you tell us how to get to... Oh crap, I already forgot the name of the bar.
You want to roll history?
Yeah.
Planet Krieg.
How do we get to Planet Krieg? Please.
I don't want to know what you're into. You can take
We're
that
looking
somewhere
for somebody.
else. Yeah, I bet you are.
How about a trade?
I'm listening.
I've got some interesting meats on me.
On you, you say. He turns towards you with the cleaver in his hand.
In my backpacks. I'm just gonna
Okay.
pull it out, unravel my sushi roll. This for directions.
He points to the table, and it's an entire carcass of a very similar looking creature.
Oh god.
You basically brought a lamb to a goat fight. How about this one? And he points to the Kenku.
Sure.
Been a while since
Okay.
I've had chicken.
We just met him.
Sword, he's looking at you very appraisingly. He's going to put his hands down and he's going to run it from the top of your head down the side of your face and over your shoulder.
I just turn to my right and smack Aku with my wing right across the face.
You reach up for that.
I'm gonna try to stop him.
Okay, you roll an attack and we'll do a... See what if it hits your AC. You can stop it. Your AC is higher than that.
Yeah, it meets it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're gonna need a dex save. You dodged it.
How about some emeralds? You like jewels?
Can't eat jewels. This isn't a jewelry store. Food store. Food. He reaches over to the corpse, grabs a handful of meat and puts it in his face and starts chewing at you. Food store. It's raw meat falling out of his face.
I'm gonna take one of the flanks of steak that I have, leave it on the table, and just walk out. Thank you.
Okay. Can I still have the Birdman?
No.
I leave.
Yeah, I'll leave.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
follow.
You all walk out back into the street.
As soon as we get outside, I turn to Aku and say, "Can I still have the Birdman?" And then punch him in the shoulder. Not meaning to deal
Awesome.
damage, just one of those like, "You motherfucker," kind of.
Okay, you find yourself on a street. It's more or less unoccupied in an alleyway.
Is there anything else written around in common?
There is. No, there wouldn't be. Some other signs with some strange questions on it. The closest door is made of metal, and it's got like one of those slits in it that obviously has a window shutter for your eyes to look through.
I'm just gonna go knock on that door.
Okay. It slides open, and some eyes are looking at you.
Common.
Just closes back up.
Okay.
Is there any buildings with what looks like to be a feather on a sigil or a rune or any kind of a sign?
That's funny you should ask. At the very end of this alleyway, it backs out. It's like the alleyway and the main street at the end of this. It's got a window on your side, and the symbol is a pillow with a bunch of feathers on it.
I'll step in there.
Okay. You are hit with a blast of very sweet smelling air. It's the nicest thing you've smelled since you've gotten here. Around you is actually a cold atmosphere, and there are a whole bunch of scantily clad men and women lounging on pillows everywhere.
I'm gonna follow him in.
Okay.
And
This must be the place.
I look around for somebody official looking like they run the place.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna shake my head in disbelief that Vith just said that.
A
Like I
robed
don't know him.
A robed man approaches you. He looks like an elven gentleman. Clear of skin and complexion, quite tall and elegantly dressed, wrapped in blue robes, and he approaches you.
I'll kind of straighten up my kind of robes and tighten my belt and kind of stand upright and then look at him and
In your sleeveless robes?
in Orin. I'll ask him if he speaks Orin. It's
Nods.
basically a series of chirps. Okay, then I will ask him where Planet Krieg is. It's like,
He. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna kind of pull at Vith's armor. Why Troll? Squawk now.
No answer.
Got shorters too. Never
Wings all
seen
time.
him without his helmets.
That's actually
Wings all
true.
time now.
In Alturin, he's going to respond to you with a series of chirps and whistles, asking you why his establishment isn't where you want to be and how you should stay and enjoy his company. But his charisma check's very low. His persuasion's very low.
Can I do an insight to see if I can figure out why he would want me to stay?
Okay. He wants your bod.
Hmm.
He just, this is a prostitute.
Right.
And he's trying to convince you to stay.
With that being said, I will take him up on his offer and grab him with my wing and take him to a pillow and start asking
He
about.
smacks your hand.
Oh.
Oh. But then does that little thing with your chin where he grabs you.
My beak.
But then also pulls out of that and makes the money symbol.
I point at Jor and say, I'm a knight.
I'm a knight.
I nod. I'm a knight.
Oh, I'm a knight.
I should mention you hear exactly your voice.
The proprietor doesn't know who to address here, but he's gonna roll perception and size you guys up here. He's kind of overwhelmed. He doesn't know what to make of everybody, so he's gonna take a step back. And he's gonna go whisper to one of his coworkers.
And Orin, I'll ask again. Kriegs?
He's going to respond with, "We are a dozen times better than Kriegs," but he's going to do it in Auturan, which is a bird language, right?
Or Orin.
Orin.
A-U-R-A-N. It's a bird language. It's the only language I can actually speak.
I hope that's not
I-
killing your eardrums. Sorry. I didn't
That's
even
why.
thought of
That's
that.
why I'm trying not to do it too much, because I don't want everybody to be like, There's actually in Volos where it has the Kenku race. It says, just a note: if you're playing this race, many other players may start to feel that you are very annoying. So try to emote more and talk less. And I'm like, all right. It actually says that in the book. It's great.
Very conscientious book.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Wizards. I'll
They think of everything.
in Orin, I'll tell him, Weird Skin has money. Kriegs is where we're supposed to meet somebody.
Common? Elven? Giant? Dwarven?
Common.
Commons.
I hear you're looking for a bar.
Yes.
I think we can come to an arrangement of some kind, but may I ask why you're looking for a bar?
Nose.
Or are you sure I can't talk it out of you?
I'm gonna take a step forward, but kind of like lean down at him. No.
He nuzzles up into you, nice and close, like right up next to you. And
I cut in.
just a second. Give me a perception check.
Who?
Vith. Okay. You just feel him pressed right up against you.
I'm gonna push him back and then look at his hands.
His hand is in your armor. So when you go to push him back, he only goes so far.
Good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put my hand on his throat then.
Okay, go to grapple. Strength
Which
check.
one is that? Oh, okay. Oof.
Yeah, he's gonna duck you. He'll pull out nicely.
I'm gonna look at what his other hand had.
Nothing.
I'm gonna reach in my pack and make sure my gold's there.
You didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
He's going to turn to Aku, say, "Sure, I can't persuade you to share why you would go to a different establishment." He's not being very persuasive today.
Nose. Looking for someone.
Oh, we have plenty of someones.
A
I think we have
certain
one
someone.
of everyone. Yeah, one of everyone.
Not
Should we get-
yours.
Fine. He gets all deflated. What do I get? I'll tell you exactly where planet Krieg is.
I turn around and shake my tail at him.
We got plenty of pillow stuffing.
I'm gonna pull a diamond out of my pouch and hold it up.
That's more like it. I want 2.
You'll get 1.
I want 2, or my earrings won't be symmetrical. I want 2.
You'll get 1.
I can't cut diamonds.
How about 2 emeralds instead?
Deal.
Tell us where it's at. And I'll have the 2
Show me the
emeralds.
emeralds. Okay.
I'll have right there.
He is going to ask you if you have any paper. I'll draw you a map.
I do have a note.
Who took the book, The Rise and the Fall of the Bloodless? Because we do have that.
I have it.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You could pull a page out of there. And... I
Okay.
mean, points at
There's-
the book.
That wasn't meta at all.
I'll pull a book out.
You pull a book out of your inventory. It's got a couple blank pages at the beginning and the end, just like many handwritten books do.
I'll offer it to the elvish man.
He appraises the book. Where did you get this?
None of your concern. Maps.
He starts going through the pages unstealthily.
I'm gonna
He's
try to
just-
snatch it out of his hand, saying, you know.
Okay,
map.
sleight of hand, DC 15. Nice. Okay, he tries to step back, but you grab the book out of his hands.
I'm gonna tear a page out for him, an empty page. Hand the book back to Jor, and him the paper.
Okay. He walks over to Sword with his back still turned and his tail feathers out, and he puts it on her back,
Is.
and he's gonna
I'm male.
your back. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
And he's gonna start drawing
Don't assume my gender. Triggered.
avenues, roads laterally. It's 26 blocks to your clockwise from the tower, and 14 blocks towards the city center. You can't miss it. Trust me.
Any symbols we should look for?
You'll see it.
Thanks.
It's got signs in common.
I'm gonna toss him the 2 emeralds.
I was insight checking to make sure to see if he was like genuinely drawing a real map.
Yeah, he put too much detail into it for him to be lying to you.
Okay.
Plus, you've got technically a map that will lead you right back to him.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And he put a big star where his establishment was and a little heart.
I'm just gonna walk out and start following the map.
As we leave in Orin, I say, I'll stop in on my way out. And I leave.
I follow my brother.
Okay. Okay, so you all leave the brothel. And you can follow the map. And you will travel 26 blocks clockwise around the city. You look at the map and realize that the city is a circle. It's kind of like a dartboard where the streets go around in a large circle and then in and rows towards the center. So you go 26 blocks clockwise and 14 blocks towards the center, walking amongst the alleyways and minding your own business. As you approach a courtyard, you see a building that you now know is obviously going to be Planet Krieg. And we'll end there for the night. That's a really good place to spot.
Nice. We had
Welcome
a
to the
combat-less
city of this.
episode.
You had a combatless episode. Well, you subverted it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You guys could have fought Fire Giant Dreadnought.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
This might be a
kinda
little
proud
bit
of that
meta,
one.
but I saw it was 8 o'clock, and I'm like, we're not getting through this fucking gate. let's go back and fuck this thing up.
Yeah. Right?
That was.
And then fucking Zach's like, no, stop. I just died. I don't want to do this again.
Oh man, if you guys died and had to like go through that whole thing.
Oh,
I mean, at least he would have done it before, right? He would have like, all right, let's go.
Oh, what was driving me nuts about the puzzle thing is you didn't figure out the eyeballs and you did everything
Yeah.
backwards. Like, if you can see everything, then it gets so much easier. But you did everything the hard way, and I kind of appreciate that because it made me work backwards through the puzzle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wasn't. It wasn't clicking in my head. I thought they were like insects or something.
Dude,
I
I
was
was
trying-
so confused for that whole fucking puzzle because,
Thought
like,
it was
okay,
raining testicles.
yeah, it was
Or
raining
that,
some
yeah.
weird shit, and then you're like, okay, so you do this, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and meanwhile, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
And then Nick and I are just talking about granola bars, and he's like, I'm so hungry, and I'm like, I'll feed you a granola bar through the webcam. And he's like, fuck you.
That's why I held it up.
Yeah.
You can change on your character sheet that you do have one blue eye and one red eye that has got a gold iris in it.
Okay.
There's no special abilities to it. They're just not your eyeballs. You pulled your own skin off of the tree, so you have your own skin. And you've got your own guts back.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Juicy.
But yeah, you also helped somebody else on one of the other islands.
For a second, I thought you were like gonna like. Never mind. I won't say because it could possibly still happen, and I don't want to fuck anything if I guessed it. So.
Okay. Well, you can say it, and I just won't react.
Okay. I thought because, you know, when we were talking about in the before we went live and how, you know, in my campaign I brought back previous PC's dead character as part of like a storyline thing, and you were like, yeah, maybe I'll fuck with Tural. And then as soon as we get there and you go to the other island, I'm thinking, okay, 2 dead people, he sees another skeleton, maybe Tural's finally wandering around dead in this little place, and then he gives eyeballs to Tural, and Tural freaks out because, you know, so I was like, maybe there's a connection there. That's my
kinda
first
what I
like
was
gut
thinking.
reaction. I was like, interesting.
Just another lost stranger.
Well, once you said the next island, there's a skeleton in a tree, I was like, ow. That theory goes
Yeah.
out the window. So,
For a meta thing that you'll probably never get to experience, the third tree was made of lizard skin.
Aww. Hey, we can actually have a post.
never
show
say
tonight.
never. One of us could
Yeah,
die and
yeah,
go
we
through
can.
that.
Like a proper post show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you guys short, but that's actually a really clean place to stop.
makes sense.
If it makes for a stopping, like to be a clean stop, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
It's only
Uh,
15 minutes.
Elsewise, you're gonna it not to be too meta, but it's gonna lead up into a dialogue scene next. So it would just be information that I would eventually end up having to repeat to you next week. So I figured I'd save you that, and we'll just do that next week. You guys pick
Yeah.
up at Planet Krieg.
And the potential of like getting us into combat and then having to wait a week to actually resolve the combat could also.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm
So
in
you-
favor of ending at a very good stopping point, even if it is 10, 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
No, you guys did good there. Yeah. You only had to minorly bribe a male prostitute to get there. Almost lost a member of your group to a butcher.
I feel like I was fine.
That was a
My
pressure-
character just met you. He does not give a shit at the moment.
That trap door behind him is pressure sensitive. Whatever he threw on top of that falls into a meat grinder. That would have been a really horrible way to go.
Eh.
It's feathers.
Yeah, no, you would have seen him squeezed out into a tube on the table. Just a little wad of meat and feathers.
Couple claws.
Sausage making style with the casing and everything.
No casing, raw like hamburger meat. Yeah.
Now I'm really hungry.
Me too. I might have to order something.
Yeah. Hamburger helper for me.
It's fucking still hot as fuck over here, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's starting to warm. It's still light outside. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
How many traps
It's-
were in that canyon?
Dude, it's still
Quite
fucking
a few.
30. Look at that. No, okay, you can't see that shit.
I can't see that. Turn your brightness down.
It's still fucking 30.
That's actually impressive. I wonder if I can
It's
hold my webcam. up
fucking
to my
9
window.
o'clock at night and it's 30 fucking degrees.
They don't know what that means.
It's about
88.
what? 80, yeah.
86.
87.8. Allegedly.
It's hotter here. It's 94 right now.
Yeah,
See
well,
if my
you're
cord
used to
reaches
that,
that
though.
far.
No, not really. It's just in the like 3 months of 111 like it was today.
Oh, I thought it was always
only
hot
got
as
up
fuck
to
there, so
96.
you guys are kind of used to it, right? Like our normal
it rains a lot
temperatures
here,
are
too.
like 20, 21 is our normal highs.
Yeah, we have extremities in like 2 weeks of spring and fall.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a hot day out.
Still bright
There's
out.
my cat.
Aww.
Do you live underground?
I live underground. I live partway underground.
That's honestly kind of cool.
Basement suite.
It's very nice and cold. I haven't even
bet
had
it's
to
gonna-
install my AC unit yet.
I was about to say it's probably gonna suck in the wintertime for you.
Actually, keeps you warm in the winter because you're underground.
Closer to the earth.
The earth keeps us warm up here in Canada. We're very close to nature. It's
Yeah.
complete bullshit.
He's like the real
Which-
life version of my original ranger.
I only took
Saving
one page of notes
volunteers and
today. I got
didn't take
Planet Krieg, radiant damage to Jor, 1 blue eye, 1 golden red eye, and then a picture of a door.
George's
job.
very confused about armorless Tyrell.
His wings, for some reason, aren't on his back anymore. It's odd.
Oh yeah, on that note, I'm gonna give you guys a picture of what roughly I look like. Just so that we're all not confused for the future. Technically don't have wings.
Is it kind of like
fact-
Picturing
Sharpies?
Big
In fact,
Bird.
there's no technical about it. I legit, I don't have wings. That is
Are
what
you
I
yellow?
look like. That I just posted a
If you're
picture.
yellow, that'd be great.
No, I'm black.
Oh, too bad.
But that's what I look like, only without the short
Okay.
sword. And instead of scales, it's all feathers.
Where did
So-
you build this?
It's
In
in
Skype.
Skype. Yeah. So it's basically black feathers, but claws for hands, claws for feet. No wings. Kenku lost their wings, which is why they can't fly. I was really thinking about going to Aarakocra or whatever the race is, so I could fly, but then I was like, nah, Kenku are way cooler.
I like the flying ability. That's pretty cool. But this is good. I like this.
I can't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
I'll link it to you on Discord.
Where was I?
Yeah.
RPG week 8. There we go. I got some images for you in case you're you don't show up. And I gotta replace you. There you go.
Perfect.
I know
I
why
like it.
you were asking about Big Bird. That's the yellow. Got it. Fuck you guys.
You should just use that one though. That's a great photo.
The crow. Oh, is that an
No,
ostrich?
no, just the
That's
the
an
black,
ostrich.
the black big bird.
What you looking at?
I typed in
Black Big Bird.
emo Big Bird for that.
He needs some like hair covering half of one eye or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. I'm happy with that. What the?
NSFW chat, man.
Oh my god.
I can't see any of this. So
Wow.
confused.
That's
I'll
okay.
send it to you on Discord.
I'm pretty. It's in. Oh, Yeah.
It's pretty tame on the NSFW scale, but
yeah, that's not what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Still
There's a
technically
lot
not safe
worse.
for work.
Yeah, we got this earlier today.
I don't know if I want to be opening any of these.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, tail plugs.
And then there's this.
But we really don't need to be. Oh, God.
All right, take us off the air.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, we're good. In before banned from Twitch, whatever. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week when we play more Dungeons and Dragons. Bye bye.
Bye.